Hello, all of you bold, beautiful, and brilliant, highly evolved souls. Sorry, it's evening, so my contacts are a little dry. Today's topic is healthy relationships versus codependent relationships. So, number one, in a healthy relationship, each person is a whole person. They are not like two halves of a person coming together to make a whole. They're each a whole person. And what I mean by that is they are both, capable of being completely independent. And they each live with their own sense of integrity, and they are aligned with their values. So they're being true to themselves. And they've probably come to that point through, healing a lot of their repressed emotions from childhood. Um, the opposite of that, in a codependent relationship, is when each person is not whole, and they are living out of alignment with their truest values, and they're also um, living with a lot of repressed emotions and inner conflict because they are not aligned, body, mind, and soul. So a healthy relationship takes two whole people. The second one is self-worth. In a healthy relationship, you have your self-worth comes from within. You deeply know that you are a worthy human being, that you have value, that you are important. Um, in a codependent relationship, your self-worth is dependent on the other person. So you're looking for that validation, that approval. You want them to sort of tell you that you're okay. So the people-pleasing kind of personality will try to please that person, please their partner or their friend or whatever it is, and in order to get that person to say, you're a good person because you're pleasing me, you're a good person, And on the opposite side is the kind of narcissistic personality who is also dependent because they are dependent on that, on the people pleaser to give them the sense of validation and that, that they are worthy. So, yeah, in a healthy relationship, the worth comes from inside. Number three is authenticity. This kind of goes back to being a whole person, but yeah, in a healthy relationship, both people are being fully authentically themselves. So they are honest about their feelings and their needs, their desires, their dreams. They talk about, their honest thoughts and opinions and, um, and yeah, in a codependent relationship, people are going to be inauthentic. They're going to be dishonest. They're going to hide or lie about their true feelings, thoughts, needs. Um, and they will, there'll be one person who is doing the people pleasing in order to be loved and accepted, and not abandoned. And of course, again, usually the other one is the narcissist who is also, being inauthentic, um, in order to, gain and manipulate that other person to, so they're both manipulating each other in order to get that, um, in order to feel that security. Number four, boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Of course, in a healthy relationship, both people have boundaries. They say, they let the other partner know, this is okay for me, this is not okay for me, this is what I require in a relationship, this is what I don't like. And those boundaries are respected, in a codependent relationship, you basically just have enmeshment. There are no clear boundaries or there are poor boundaries. And so there's no clear line as to where one person ends and the other person begins. It's just this kind of muddled mess. Number 5 is responsibility. In a healthy relationship, both people will take full responsibility for their feelings and their behaviors. So they will own their feelings. They will say, I'm feeling angry that you were you came home late tonight or whatever it is. They're going to own that. They'll set a boundary with that. And they own their behaviors as well, and are willing to apologize on the other hand, if they have crossed the other person's boundaries. So they take responsibility for themselves. In a codependent relationship, there's no self-responsibility or accountability for behaviors. And they blame each other for their feelings, like, you make me angry, or you did that and that made me, whatever, so there's a lot of just blaming, I'm feeling this because you did that. And that's not a healthy thing. In a healthy relationship, there is clear and concise communication. Communication is honest, it's direct, it's open, it's clear. You have healthy communication where people frequently are talking to each other, sharing, being vulnerable. And the other person is open and receptive. And so there's a balance there too, of listening and talking. In a codependent relationship, you'll have ineffective, indirect, dishonest, unclear communication, or just maybe very little communication is happening because they just talk about superficial things. There's no talk about how you feel or whatever. So that's codependence. Where am I down to? I lost track of numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is a balance of give and take. So here again is balance in communication and other areas. There's generally a sense of like both people are getting to give, and both people are also being able to receive. So there's an equality, there's a balance there. In a codependent relationship, you usually have one person who is doing more giving than the other. And of course, this is usually the people pleaser person who is giving, trying to, get that other person or that narcissist approval. The next one, number 8, autonomy. This is really key that, that each person has their own autonomous being, they have choice, they have free will, they have their freedom, they're able to, if they wanted to, they could just say, I'm sorry, this relationship's not working anymore, and they would be able to leave and they'd be okay. There's just a sense of, they have that freedom. They're a free person. Like there's no chains holding these people together. They wake up every day and we're choosing to be together today. It's they have choice. And in the codependent relationship, of course, it's dependence, right? You have two people that are very just dependent on each other in not a good way, dependent. There's nothing wrong with, of course, some kind of depending on a person in a relationship, but not in a what I'll come to next is like in a controlling and a manipulative way. So number 9 is like with the autonomy, you have an acceptance of who that person is, and you don't try to change the other person. You're choosing to be with that person, knowing who they are and knowing their strengths, knowing their weaknesses. In a codependent, you're trying to control and change or manipulate or save the other person, so that is the unhealthy dependence. Number 10, the last one here I have is, in a healthy relationship, there is emotional intimacy. And you can only have that if each person has emotional intimacy with themselves. So each person is feeling their feelings fully and experiencing those emotions so that they can have emotional intimacy with the other person. In a codependent relationship, feelings are denied, repressed. And so, of course, there's not going to be any, or there's going to be very little emotional intimacy. So those are my 10 points as to the difference between a healthy relationship and a codependent relationship. So I hope that is clear. And if you have any questions, please let me know below in the comments there. And I am wishing you many, many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening. And I am Davina at Boldness Blooming. Thank you for watching.